Good morning, everyone. It is New Year's Day, so Happy New Year. I am sitting here in a state of awe and bewilderment right now because last night, December 31st, I finished my last workout and looked at my Strava totals for the year. I hit 1,003 hours for 2022 of training. October was 100 hours, which blew my biggest total for a month out of the water. November was 96. December was 106 hours. And how do I feel? I feel pretty good. I don't feel like I've just trained over 300 hours in the past 3 months and over 1,000 for the year. I feel fresh and I feel ready to go, which is a little strange for me, because I thought that yearly goal of let's see if we can hit 900 hours and then, oh my God, am I going to hit 1,000? Like, I thought that would be kind of a finish line that I would cross, and then January 1st, today, I'd be like, thank God that's over. I can't wait to just take a break. But because I never went after a big number goal, instead I just created processes that I could engage in, like let's go to the pulling machine, let's go to the elliptical, let's go to the treadmill, let's go outside and run or roller ski or Nordic ski in the snow. Because I just kept pointing myself in different directions, it never felt like I was trying to hit an hourly goal. I was just engaging as long as I felt comfortable. And then when I stopped being comfortable, I would stop and then move to something else. I'm still in that state now. I'm not here thinking I need a break. I'm here thinking, oh crap, I probably should take a break, because 3 months totaling over 300 hours, my body probably needs to bounce back a little bit, but I don't feel it. I don't feel like I'm dragging. I do feel that my attention is a little reduced. My ability to work on my writing projects is reduced. I do notice that. But other than that, physically, I feel really good. And I haven't been sick since 2020 and starting to wear masks back then. I haven't been sick. I'm putting on muscle. Like, my muscle mass keeps growing. Like 300 hours in 3 months, and you'd think I'd be withered away to nothing. I'm up to 160 pounds now. I haven't been 160 pounds since my early 30s, when I was doing strength training as an actor just to look good. I wasn't doing anything athletic other than going to the gym and getting puffy. But 160 pounds is 17 pounds more than when I was just running, and I was doing really, really well as a runner. And as a stair climber, by the way. Like, I was doing some upper body stuff as a stair climber, but 143 pounds, which is big for a runner my height, 5 feet 9 inches. So clearly I must have enough testosterone, because I'm building muscle at the age of 54 and a half. I'm sleeping well. I don't know, I never imagined I'd follow a 938 hour year with a 1,003 hour year, and I don't feel like quitting, because I don't feel like I am working inside of this goal to hit giant hours. I don't want to say I'm obsessed with process, but I just love moving now. I am really, really powered up to move. Like, I can't wait to stop this video and hop on my polling machine and watch some of the Tour de Ski that happened yesterday and pole along with the racers. I don't know what's going to happen in 2023. I don't know what my training will do. I don't have a goal. I don't have a plan, and I want to keep it that way. I do plan to go to the World Nordic Championships for Masters in Seefeld, Austria, mid-March. So I don't know what will happen between now and then, but yeah, 1,000 hours at the age of 54. And I feel like I'm getting stronger and improving and growing, and I don't know where this will take me, but it's such a dramatic shift from how I used to train as a runner. And I had great success as a runner. Anybody that's followed this channel knows that. I got 20 U.S. Masters Championships. But this is a totally different game now, and it's far more exciting. Anyway, that's it for right now. Happy New Year. And let's talk about process as this new year goes forward, because, yeah, I'm just blown away. All right, see you in the next one.
Good work from France as Lucas Chinups blasts his way up around that corner, and that's a very handy bit of skiing from him. 5 is Schoonmaker of the USA in a strong position, and still the Swede is struggling. I'm not sure no wax is paying off.
I just got back from an occupational therapy appointment for my thumb, and I've got some putty to do some exercises with. I've got to squeeze, roll, and pinch times 10, 5 donuts, and I do that 3 times a day. So she wrote the instructions on the putty, and I'm going to show you what I do with this therapy putty. There are different strengths of putty. I think orange is the easiest, then pink, then green, then blue, then purple. So this is kind of an intermediate putty. So I'm going to show you the squeeze, roll, and pinch, and then the donut. So basically, the squeeze is just manipulating this with my thumb, trying to get my thumb really engaged and bending at the various joints. So I want to do 10 of those. I think there's 5, there's 6, 7, 8, and this putty is pretty firm, so that's hard. 9, and it hurts, it aches. I think there's 10. Okay, so that's the squeeze. Next we have the roll. So I'm going to take it like this. I'm going to roll it with the palm of my hand. And part of this is to develop just hand strength, grip strength, because I lost a lot of that in the cast and braces. So we just want to move around in there, roll this out. It's a good idea to get your thumb involved too. I'm just developing the strength in that palm again. Okay, that's a pretty good roll. So now we're going to do the pinch. And the pinch, I want to make sure I have enough roll to do 10. And I'm going to take the injured thumb and forefinger and just pinch. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll do 12 for good measure. 11, 12. That is really hard on the thumb, and it aches right now. It really aches. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so next we want to do a donut. So we're going to take the roll. We're going to make a pretty tight shape out of it. A tight ring or loop, like a donut. Obviously, it's not perfect. And just doing this, forming these shapes, is also part of the exercise. I'm using my thumb to make these shapes. So once I have something that resembles a donut, I'm going to take my fingers, put them inside, so they're like this, on the desk, so it's only the fingertips. And I'm going to spread out. Oh, yeah, that hurts. So really spreading out. And that's working all the ligaments through here. My fingers, it's not so bad, but in the thumb, that's the one that's really hurting as I spread these guys out. So that was one. I love these exercises. I just like playing with this putty. It is so fun and enjoyable just to manipulate it. So I tend to do it throughout the day. Like when I'm working on something that's a little bit stressful, I can just pick this up, and I don't even need to do exercises with it. I can just manipulate it. All right, here's 3. Oh. Good morning. is sunny. It's January 5th, and so far, the month of January, we've had really gray, warm, rainy days. The cold October and November that we had turned into a really wet and warm January somehow. We're getting the strangest weather. It's almost 50 degrees, and finally the rain broke and a little bit of sunshine. I'm up super late. I missed my occupational therapy appointment this morning for my thumb, so I'm gonna go in and see if I can reschedule. Yeah, I think the training is catching up to me a little bit, but try to take some easy days and see what happens. All right. My final appointment with the doc about my thumb. So I just had my final doctor's appointment with the thumb, and she said she likes the progress and she's setting me free. I'll still go to occupational therapy, but no more doctor's visits. She says I'm very, very likely to have traumatic arthritis, to be expected, but other than that, it looks good, and she thinks that I can start adding some heavier loads to it and work my way into full function in the near future. So, good news. Not happy about traumatic arthritis in my future, but it's already been aching every day anyway. It aches when I use it. I'm just going to have to get used to that, which I kind of already am. So, as an athlete, there are lots of aches and pains you just have to get used to. My buddy Bob Dion of Dion Snowshoes just asked me if I wanted to go for a walk with him. So I'm going to do some Bigfoot Light as he walks next to me. We're going to meet in Pownell, which is the town just south of Bennington, near the Massachusetts border. And we're going to talk everything snowshoeing as I grind away in some Bigfoot Light and look at the beautiful views.
Kind of like it looks in the morning when the sun's coming over this ridge.
Yeah.
You get all the tops over there.
It is the morning of January 6th, and it is raining in about 1 degree Celsius, or 33 degrees Fahrenheit. I am hoping that it's snow in the mountains so I can get back to skiing, but if it isn't, that's okay. I'm off to a really late start today and the past few days. I think the volume of training had really caught up to me, and now my body is saying sleep. So I'm honoring that. So rather than popping out of bed at 6, I'm popping out of bed at 9. And taking it really slow, being really gentle. There are a lot of people that are going to tell you that you need to take a cold shower, you need to get your adrenaline going, you need caffeine, you need something, loud music, to kind of pump you up to face the day. And while that may work for some people, to me it's kind of antithetical to what the body wants. My whole process is honoring where my body's at. But I want to make sure that it's my body that's in that state and not a story that my identity is running. I always want to test it. I want to step with my body and see what happens. Does my body shift and change when I take the step, or does it say, no, get back in bed? Versus a story of fatigue, which is probably the most common experience that people have. We have stories of fatigue that are not related to our body, but are very much related to how much our identity has engaged in. We can sit in a chair all day long doing mentally stressful things and then think that our body needs a rest, but our body has been sitting in a chair all day. Our body is fine, our energy stores are topped off, we're good to go, but our identity is exhausted. Anyway, I always want to make sure that I test my fatigue. Is it identity or is it body? If it's identity, move the body. If it's body, rest. How do you test? You move. And if the movement just isn't working, gentle movement, of course. If it's not working, then rest. But if you start to feel yourself come alive and shift, it was my identity that was tired, not my body. I've been sitting in the car here, finishing a book, Daniel Dennett's Freedom Evolves, which is rather tedious. I'm going to put up a review on Patreon shortly. All the books that I read, I do reviews, and they go up on Patreon. This book is far too verbose. There's way too much language that's totally unnecessary, but that's typical of a book on philosophy. This one in particular is about the idea of freedom or free will and how it has evolved, how it evolved into existence in the first place, how humans developed it, what it means to be a human, what is consciousness, what are ethics and morality, how does culture shape us, what are we ultimately personally responsible for, and what are we simply the victims of genetics and culture and potentially a determined universe. There's good stuff in this book, but it's a lot of philosophical babble as well. And the narrator is terrible. Anyway, I just finished it. It was 12 hours. It was a tough one to get through. And now I'm going to go upstairs and gently see what's waiting. I don't know. When I go up into my studio, I never know what I'm going to do. I just start moving and I just observe myself moving and I observe certain things pulling me. This over here seems to be pulling me. Okay, then go do that. And then my day just kind of creates itself. So we'll see what happens. Peace. It's time for an elliptical session, so I'm going to load up a skiing vlog and watch some racing while I work on my pulling motions to develop my shoulders as I'm on the elliptical. One of our apple trees got damaged in a storm, so part of my job today is cutting it with a little handsaw. It's going to take a while, but it's a good workout. Today was a pretty big day of pulling machine, 2.5 hours, plus a bunch of toes to bar, which if you do it really slowly, will wreck you. Ooh, it's a mama kitten. It's a mama kitten. Look at those toes. Just finishing up my evening treadmill session, 40 minutes, 1.82 miles, Bigfoot Light. Beastly. Not only do I use my legs, but I also try to imitate their arm movements as I go. Even though the distance isn't very far, it's a beast of a workout. The view out my window looks very inviting. I take a picture every day from this angle and this level of zoom. This is my gym area. In addition to my polling machine, which I call Gallop polling, I've got some straps that I can use for various different exercises. I've got multiple pull-up bars that I can use. I've got neutral grip where your hands are like this. I've got my main bar, which I can do chin-ups or pull-ups on, wide or narrow. Plus there's more behind me. I've got some heavy bags, etc. Anyway, today is going to be an easy pull-up day. I try to do some form of pull-up every single day, but some days are very, very easy, and some days I do a crap load of pull-ups or chin-ups, different grips. Today being an easy day, I'm going to do chin-ups on this bar. And chin-ups, you have a supinated position, so your palms are facing you. A pull-up, your palms are facing away. So palms facing me, and this allows you to engage a little bit more bicep, but more importantly for me as a skier, It allows me to bring my elbows down further, or my upper arms come down to my sides, which is what I want. I want to get that motion down here. This brings the bar to mid to low chest. Now the key thing is I don't want to kip or swing my legs. I want to keep my body actually in this position. So my legs are a little bit out in front of me. So my back and my core are activated the entire time. So I want to keep a straight body that's a little bit bent with my feet in front of me. And I don't want to bend at the waist. I don't want to bend at the knees. I don't want to be swinging and kicking. I want all the work to be done biceps, back, and upper core. So 4 chin-ups. And I put my arms around shoulder width apart so that I can get my elbows to my sides. If I put them any narrower, then I couldn't get my arms to my sides. So first I go into a hang. I have a little stool I'm on, and then and there you go. So far today I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of 4 chin-ups. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of toes to bar, which is a CrossFit exercise, which I really love. And I've done an hour and a half of polling on the polling machine. So it's been a good day of upper body work. And I don't know, is that a minute? Am I close to a minute? Probably. Wasn't timing because I'm talking to the camera. Anyway, some more chin-ups. Explosive, but no swinging. And sometimes I will come down slowly, very slowly, with my feet out in front of me so my core is really engaged. There you go. My first week of the new year is done. I thought I would back down on the training a bit, but again, I don't have a plan. I'm not forcing myself to do anything. It came out to just under 21 hours for the week. So even though that is a several hour reduction, it's still almost 3 hours a day. So that's interesting. Anyway, it's getting late, so I'm gonna head home, and I will see you next week.